Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Thank you for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live, and we are here. TH3 is definitely all the way in the building tonight. It's your girl, Tilted Halo. You already know I'm sitting alongside my good girlfriends, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads, and the lovely queen, Miss Natural D. Before we get into it, I want to go ahead and give you all a quick rundown on what's getting ready to happen on tonight's show. You already know we're going to take a trip merrily down the stream and, of course, hash it all the way out in that segment that you all have come to know, love, and appreciate what's really going on. With so much going on in the world, I appreciate the opportunity again to come before you with the information that you need for your mind, body, and soul to be freed. But let me get up off that. Thank you again so much for tuning in. We want to go ahead and welcome you all to the show tonight. We want to take the opportunity to say hello and thank you and welcome to all of our replay viewers. Y'all already know what it is. We keep it pinned here in the Facebook group, Unhinged with Tilted Halo. And we are also broadcasting live on Twisted Threads YouTube channel, Unhinged Live YouTube channel, and Save the Arts on YouTube. So we are all out there in these streets, y'all. So if you don't have a problem, pretty please, go on over there. Let your fingers do the walking. Subscribe, like, share. Hit the notification bell to every last one of our YouTube platforms so you know when we are going live. Again, we keep telling y'all we're about to turn it up a notch or two or three or five in the year 2023, and we want to make sure you are always in the know and aware of what's taking place with Tilted Halo Broadcast Media Entertainment, the Unhinged Radio Live Show, and so much more. It's the beginning of the year, and no, we don't make resolutions here on this platform. We set goals. Yeah, so the goal is to bring you so much more because every last one of us is so very talented. No, family. We celebrate one another in our each and every, our individual areas of gifting. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and say, welcome to the show tonight, Natural D. It's been a while, girl. Where you been?
Girl, I'm out here in these streets. No, just being a committee member. You know, working my pearls in my sorority. Yes, I am a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Yes, it is conference season, and y'all, I can't wait for regional to be done because I'm tired. But I can't wait. We will be making Philadelphia pink and green out here in these streets. So just pray for warmth because I don't know who decided for this thing to be in early March. I'm still upset.
Well, look.
Other than that, girl, just being me, growing, reading, trying to read all the things. Just I'm here.
Listen, we already know this winter has been fairly mild and relaxed outside of the Arctic temperatures we've experienced occasionally to this point. But thank God we have not been hit with another snowmageddon. And talking to some of my farming friends, I've been told that we ain't gonna have to worry about pulling out our snow blowers. And the groundhog said we can expect 6 more weeks of winter and then spring will officially spring. So what it is, Miss Karen Sims of Twisted Threads, how you doing?
I'm feeling in the spirit of it could be whatever tonight. That's that. It's just all in my shana now. And you have one day where it's like, I wonder, and then you have a second day of I wonder, and then you get into that space where it's like, all right, we just gonna continue on and watch this foolishness around here, and let it be whatever. Like this moment is not about we gonna jump in or we gonna do something. The body count gonna stay right where it is because all I'm doing is looking from left to right, right to left, like, oh, this how it's gonna be. Okay. So for all of the folks out there heavy on the shenanigans, carry on. That's the
carry on.
Carry on. I shall not try to interject or interrupt. If you want your shenanigans, Karen gonna let you have them this week. That's kind of the vibe that I'm in right now. You know, sitting in peace and that quiet joy. You know, not real loud, not but just sit down and rest a while. I feel that in my spirit, and so I'm gonna go ahead and let the Lord lead me that way as we proceed. Now, I may act up tonight. I probably will, because we got some topics to get into and some things to talk about. And Tilted been acting up in the group, posting pictures. I think that was her posting pictures of celebrities. I think. I'm not putting nobody on blast. I think I just had saw some things that may or may not be the views of all of us on the show. May or may not.
May or may not. It's alleged.
Allegedly. You know that's my favorite word. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So now I gotta turn it back to you, Tilted. How you doing?
You know, I'm out here trying to, you know, again, just like you said, keep the body count low and make sure that though I know how powerful I am, I have to make sure, because I too am in a season of it can be whatever, Karen. I have to make sure that I rein my power in so that I don't singe every single thing that I come in contact with, because I promise you, they have been trying your girl. The people out here in these streets have been trying me to the point where I've legitimately, on more than one occasion, have had to cry out to Jesus and ask him to send the legion of angels that he has assigned to my life to come and get me on site, because I had experienced many, it could be whatever moments. However, it's not appropriate to be acting up in the places where I was experiencing them. So, of course, our Father is faithful to respond to the cries of his children. And I'm happy to say tonight, there is no blood on my hands. And most people have walked away from me recognizing that not only am I happy, I actually have joy. And as I took the time to explain to someone, when she commented and said, "Girl, you're always so happy," I said, "Girl, I ain't happy." I said, "This is called joy. Happy is a temporal emotion. Joy is eternal. And my joy comes from God and what he gives to me. No one has the power to take away from me. So I exist in that space so I can keep a smile on my face and continue to be a light in the marketplace and wherever else I might go." So enough about that. You know, we got to start the show out right. You know what it is. We take an opportunity every single week to say, hey, and give a shout out to our loyal supporters and viewers. And I got a special fan out shout out tonight, y'all. Can I get a minor drum roll? All right, tonight's, y'all still working on, we got to get a sound bite for that, though. I got to write that down so I can get it, because this queen-ager brain be slipping sometimes. This queen-ager brain be slipping sometimes. But tonight's super fan out shout out goes to none other than my brother, my friend. I call him the Black Knight, y'all, but his name is Antoine Jones. Now, let me tell you about my boy, Antoine. Antoine, I've known him forever. Now, Antoine knew me when the dream was just being birthed in me, before I left the other job to chase a dream and left that salary and that good paycheck on the table. When I took a leap of faith, Antoine Jones, and he has kept his word to me all the way through the years. Shout out to Antoine and his lovely wife. He makes sure he takes the time. I know y'all see him. He's very active. He comments, he likes, he shares. He is a supporter of not only Tilted Halo, he's a supporter of Twisted Threads and everybody that runs through here on the show. I wanted to go ahead and acknowledge him because he's also a truck driver. And so many people dismiss the hard work that truck drivers do. And I think it's only appropriate to acknowledge someone who is an integral part of moving the merchandise that we use on a day-to-day basis. In particular, I know he works transporting goods for a major grocery chain in the area. So if this brother can't do his job like so many others in his role, we don't get to eat, y'all. So, because of Antoine Jones and so many other truck drivers, we get to get the lettuce. We get to get the avocados. We get to get the super crunchy peanut butter if that's what you like. You get to get your brand name Oreo cookies if that's what you like, because of the important work that the truck drivers do. Antoine, we appreciate you. You keep doing your job. You keep living your life and shining your light, because not only does he work very diligently in his role, can I tell you, he loved the Lord, y'all.
Come on, somebody.
He loved the Lord.
Come on.
And his father gave him that because his father's a deacon. So Antoine is one of those people that you just need to make sure you have in your world. Just like everybody needs a Karen, everybody needs a Donnell or Natural D, or everybody needs a Karen. Everybody needs an Antoine in their lives. Again, y'all heard me refer to him as the Black Knight, because I promise you there were many situations in my world that happened where he legit swooped in and saved the day. So shout out to you, Antoine. We really, really appreciate you. Anybody got anything to say before we move on?
I love it. We appreciate you getting them cookies and chips and the bread and the milk too. If you could work on tell us what's going on with the eggs, we will be very excited to hear, because you're getting everything else where it needs to be. So we just got one more thing, and then we're gonna be good.
Listen, what's the tea with the whipping cream? Because I just saw a recall a shortage on the whipping cream. What's happening? The dairy. What are we doing?
Child, that's a whole nother story, I think.
Well, I am so glad that you inquired about the recalls, because I was ready to rehash that segment, because Karen had actually requested it. And she didn't realize that, God, again, as he does so very, very well, perfectly aligned things, where those of you who engage with us in the Facebook group, Unhinged with Tilted Halo, you may have noticed that I posted a very important recall alert in the group. I believe it was yesterday, where over 400 items have been placed on a recall list. All right. Listeria concerns prompted a recall of more than 400 sandwiches and other snacks. Now, in the photo, all you see is a little fruit cup. And if you're somebody who's trying to do their best to eat well while on the go, you, much like myself, are picking up the fruit cup, because it's something that's going to try and keep you on track. Well, please, ma'am, please, sir, lean in a little bit closer. Give me your ear. Give me your ear. It's not only the food, the fruit cups. Again, there's different sandwiches. And all of this information is available to you. Again, use the Googleations, use Apple search, use Siri, Bixby, whoever it is, Alexa them. Ask them to take you to www.fda.gov, and you will see the complete list of every single item that has been placed on recall. I saw sandwiches and fruit cups and a whole lot of other stuff. And those of us who just typically, watch the recalls on a regular basis, we know that we are actually in a season where listeria concerns actually rise. It's like clockwork. So as I'm sitting here looking at the list, some of these things might be in the cabinet, y'all. It's a whole bunch of breakfast sandwiches. A lot of y'all got some of them. We got Colby cheddar, egg muffin. We got the egg white and cheddar and Swiss multi-grain John on here, and the breakfast sandwiches. Then we got the French onion omelets and the potatoes. We got some blueberry muffins, some crumb cake, some marble loaf cake, some iced lemon loaf, some albacore tuna finger sandwiches, the 4-pack, y'all, and chicken salad too, 4-pack as well. Ham and American finger sandwiches. Look, this list is too long. We got fresh grapes on here, y'all. I like grapes instead of cookies sometimes, just so y'all know. We got grapes on this list, fresh mixed berries, fruit melons, pineapple.
I got a problem right now. Like
what's going on?
One, this list too long.
Is watermelon on it?
Girl, I didn't see no watermelon on it just yet. But again, I didn't get to the bottom of the list yet. I just keep scrolling, and it's like the scroll is eternal over here. But I did just run into, what is this? A grilled chicken provolone, a roasted pepper sesame baguette. And that's something that in the air sell would purchase if I ever on the menu somewhere or pick up. Well, actually, I try not to buy gas station sandwiches because I don't know how fresh they truly are. But, Italian hoagies, Mediterranean hummus and veggie fusilli, roast beef and horseradish hoagies, and girl, it's all kind of stuff on here. Again, let your fingers do the walking and take you over to www.fda.gov. They really do post a number of different items. I personally know that it's not necessarily the most complete and comprehensive list, but listen, they're trying to give you as much information possible so that you can remain diligent in keeping yourself and your family safe, especially with the food items that you put into your belly. Now is not the time for anybody to get sick. Can we get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
All right. So we like to keep you aware because knowledge is definitely power. So Karen, it's the mental health check-in. And February is also Heart Health Month for women, Women's Heart Health Month.
It is.
You want to give us a little insight on that, my sister?
It's real simple. We are one of the highest numbers who die or have challenges with heart health. And so we want to remind our sisters and all of us tonight, like literally, we've got to do the things that's good for our heart. That's why, even in my state of it could be whatever, it's not a turn up. Sometimes we just got to allow that joy and that peace to come in our lives so that we know. Also, visit your doctors. We got to check for the heart health and the blood pressure and the cholesterol. Why? Because all of the rest of the functions are kind of subject to what's going on with our heart. So it may start with the challenge in the heart and then the kidney and then the rest of the things. So go on over there. If you ain't got no Valentine, go visit your doctor. Make your doctor your Valentine this year, and it'll do you some good. And why is that important to your mental health? Well, one of the things that comes with mental health, high on the list, is the worry and the stress that comes when our health is out of balance. So just us going in and checking, it's okay. We take the car for a tune-up or an oil change, but sometimes we forget to do that for ourselves. Go ahead and run on through. Let the doctor do what they need to do so that you can create a plan to live not just longer, but stronger. We want to see you thriving in your lives, not just doing the bare minimum because y'all didn't listen. So we try to cover all of the bases while we here week by week. Why? Because we care about what's happening to y'all. We want y'all to come on back now, okay? That part. We don't want you to have to be in dire straits and in bad health because you didn't listen to the call. So if somebody was talking to you and they say get to the doctor and your auntie said it and your niece said it and your daughter said it and your friend said it, well, we saying it too. So I don't know how much more confirmation you need at that point, but we want to celebrate that. So I gotta, I guess, give a throw question and say, Queen Ages, sisters, what are y'all doing this month to recognize Heart Health Month for yourself?
I'm getting my 10,000 steps in.
Listen, that matters. It keeps your heart healthy.
Okay, come through 10,000. Come through 10. Well, I have been historically known at the beginning of every single year. I schedule all my doctor appointments. So I'm staying on top of that. In the month of January, I had my annual physical, found out that my vitamin D is yet again not where it's supposed to be. So I've been again redirected to go ahead and continue to take a vitamin D supplement every single day because that is in direct relation to my circulatory health. Hello, I need to make sure that D level stays up. So I don't mess around, and next thing you know, y'all coming to see your girl tilted laid up in the hospital. We don't want that to happen because I enjoy what we do week after week. So yes, I've already had my annual physical, and in the month of February, because I love myself, I love what you said, Karen. If you don't have a Valentine, go ahead and let your doctor be your Valentine. Do I have a Valentine? Maybe, maybe not. That's not y'all business. But what I will tell you is that I have yet another appointment scheduled for the month of February with another particular doctor that will make sure that a particular set of other love handles are healthy. Yes, I am scheduled for my annual mammogram. Yeah, I did call them the other set of love handles because some of these men like stuff. And I've had many conversations with them. So, I got to make sure that the girls stay healthy so that I remain healthy, not only physically, but in my mind. Because, I've had blood pressure concerns for quite some time. I've been on medication, I've been off medication, and sometimes my schedule does not allow me to move as often as I like to. Y'all know I'm a low-key gym rat, but again, life will throw you a curve, so you have to adjust and keep on riding. So I've made some adjustments, and I see my rat tail growing back in, y'all, because some things again have realigned to the right space. Since we're talking about it, and you did make mention of our physical health being an area of mental health concern and stress and worry, in particular for people of color. Y'all know mental health is one of my passions, one of my loves, and I received some information, and I just want to share this with you all. Things that can impact, your mental health. Of course, we've already spoke about Black mental health, but Native Americans and Alaska Natives have their own concerns, not only with physical health, but just their overall well-being with some of the things that we've seen through broadcast media. Then there are the maternal health concerns that come into place when you're a mother who's carrying a child, and even a father who's supporting their mate through a pregnancy process. Mental health stress there with some concerns that I will not speak on tonight because I declare that, all things are well within the wombs of my sisters as they're bringing forth new life. Then there's veterans that have a different level of concern. There are the deaf and the hard of hearing, and those who have experienced hearing loss over the course of time. These are things that can weigh on you and send you into crisis. Then, unfortunately, the youth of today have so many different challenges that, we've seen the numbers. Suicide has been on the rise among the adolescent community. Then, of course, you have your loss survivors. And, I don't think there's anyone sitting on this panel that can't relate to that, because we've all lost someone near and dear to us that we miss every single day. And of course, you have your disaster survivors. Shout out to Turkey. Y'all go ahead and continue to pray for Turkey.
Yeah.
Because the devastation that those people are living through right now, we know past with the recent incident with the football player, that prayer definitely does change things. So let's continue to make a prayer a global effort. And if you didn't know, there is a national hotline available to every single one in the United States of America. The mental health hotline is simply pick up your phone. And we're not going to tell you to dial 911, but we are going to tell you to dial 988. If you feel like you are close to the edge and you're not trying to lose your head, pick up your phone and don't call Tyrone, call 988. So you can be connected to a skilled professional that can support you through the process. It is a process. And again, we're trying to just destigmatize mental health concerns. Yes. And I don't want to see us lose another person who loses their life at their own hand because they felt like they didn't have support or anyone to talk to. We all certified sitting up here. We can put it out there. We are here to speak to you. Our inboxes are open. Be careful how you speak to us because, again, y'all done heard it said, it could be whatever. So be careful how you speak to us, but understand you will be met with so much love, prayer, and support. It is unbelievable. And of course, y'all know I'm your resident resource queen. Point you in the direction on how to get the help you need, whether you're in the state of New Jersey. I know some about 48 states to point you in the direction to get some help. Help is important. Support is important. And just know, each and every one of y'all, that you're not alone. You're never alone. So ending it is not necessary. It's just an opportunity for you to seize, to go ahead and write a different chapter in the story of your own life. So I'm gonna jump up off that. Anybody got anything to add to that? Is there a church finger or anything? In church finger?
Since mentioned prayer, let's also add, feel free to add meditation to your daily routine because listen, it's helpful.
Yes.
Calm your mind. You gotta find a way to calm your mind.
Yes. Be still. And some of y'all may not understand how to still your mind because even when you close your eyes and the lights are turned off, you have to find that place within yourself, and it's there. And it takes practice to get there. You may not be able to start a meditation session going hard for a whole half hour without your thoughts wandering to what's on the mail table, what bill I got to pay next. Start with 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Start with 5 minutes. And if you don't meet the first five, that's all right. Every day is a brand new opportunity to begin again. And guess what? There's 24 hours in a day. So I can imagine at some point you'll build up your meditation moxie to get to that 30-minute marker and then be able to reach back and teach someone you love how to do what you learned to do all by yourself with the help of God. Thank you for bringing that point to the table because we often refer to it as prayer, but other faith systems practice meditation as their form of prayer. And we never, ever, ever want to disregard anyone in their belief set. So, all right. We fitting to move it right along. We fitting to move it right along. Get your remote controls. You already know what it is. You ready? It's time to point your remote control at your TV screen. Merrily, 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 find something to stream. That's right, it's that segment, Merrily Down the Stream. And for those of you who are new to the platform, we take the opportunity to share our thoughts and give a little commentary of the things that we have, consumed while enjoying some different viewings on one of these many, many streaming apps that we have available to us. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss the mic on over to my good girlfriend, Karen Sim. Let's get it started. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, we introduced a new kind of merrily down the stream when we were talking last week, and I loved it so much that I was like, okay, I think we need to add this to the conversations when we come together. And so one of the first ones is just representing an audio book, and it's one that I continue to kind of listen to, visit. And if any of you are like me, you start an audio book, you might get an hour in and you got 15 more hours to go, so then you got to wait for the next thing and then go back to it. I love it. But this audio book is a couple of hours, but it really is a good read. 12, and it's called 12-week year. And basically it's sort of like keeping you in a renewal process that every 12 weeks you should be moving on to another thing. So it's a guide to shorten the execution cycle down from 1 year to 12 weeks. Because many of you know, if we say to ourselves, okay, we're going to lose 20 pounds in a year, we gonna wait till the last 12 weeks anyway to get it done. But it gives you a more focused view on how you look at time management and goal setting. And so y'all know one of my things with me being a master life coach, I am a goal success coach. So this one was right up my alley to think about what things do we need to do in a short amount of time so that we're continuing to win. So it's literally showing you how to create priority for a goal, and then all of the different strategies or tasks that come under that. And the focus of it is how to turn vision into reality. So many of us are starting the year off. We're in about week 6 right now. I think we might be 5 or 6. And so you're thinking like maybe you did set resolutions. We told you we don't do that here, but we do set goals. We do cast vision for what we want. And so that was one of the books that I wanted to share with you all. I did not start, but the book that Tilted recommended last week, I went on ahead and downloaded that. So that's going to be in my circulation as soon as I finish streaming Spare from Prince Harry, you know, because he giving the juicy details. So I got to get a little bit of learning and a little bit. Can we call the Prince Ratchet? I don't think we can, but he got some spice in there. He got some spice in there. That's what I'll say. Some of that British spice that's going on in there. So I'll share that one. And then I mentioned last week, and I got caught in the cycle. I mentioned last week that I started Project 1619, and how one of my statements was it's a little bit heavy. So I couldn't binge it like straight through and still keep the body count at 0. So, you know, we did one episode at a time. And I believe that they kind of do it, you know, every Friday or something, another episode is released. So I'm keeping along with that. But very interesting because this week they talked about race and how it impacts healthcare. Not socioeconomics alone, but how Black women are really the highest reported fatalities and mortality when it comes to deaths during childbirth, even doctors ignoring them. And it goes back to pre-slave and slavery times where this just blew my mind, where it was like, oh no, women don't feel pain. Black women don't feel pain like everybody else. And so it is seeped in studies. It's not just an opinion. They share the studies. They share, you know, some of the challenges that Black women have had with even loss of their children because not being able to, not that they didn't have access to health care. This is a very important point, but that they literally just get ignored when they say, I'm having a problem, as if me living with my body all the years that I know myself, I know when something is wrong. And I've unfortunately dealt with that personally, where it took like maybe 10 doctors, and all to the point where one doctor just was like, we think it's cancer. And it was like, wait, what? You do not be throwing out the C word without no, you know, and she still got her license somewhere, God bless her. But it took so much for somebody to listen to me that I'm definitely an advocate for folks saying, no, I need a partnership when it comes to my medical team. Because if you're not listening to me, that usually means you're going to let me die or something that I could have just used the Band-Aid for. And so really a lot that came out of that. So I don't know if anybody is watching that, but I'm going to watch that. And then we're going to get into Ratchet TV. Anybody watching 1619?
Not yet, but it's on my list.
Get on it, I promise. Now, I feel like we need to dip Harlem because they done came through with season 2.
Harlem is back. Harlem is back, y'all. Season 2, and all of the ladies are just looking wonderful. Shout out to Megan Good and the rest of the ensemble cast of Harlem. Of course, you know, I did make an announcement letting y'all know, yo, Harlem is back, merrily down the stream. I'm posting these things now, so if it's something that suits your fancy, go on over, watch that thing, come on over here, so when we engage the discussion here on the show, we can share your comments, because we are always watching. I'm looking right now, and before we move right on to your viewing, Natural D, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody I see in the chat room. And we've got some new followers, y'all, are watching with us tonight. So I want to go ahead and give a bless up to my brother, Jason Anthony, DJ Mighty Deja. He's in the chat. Our brother that we celebrated last week, Roy Schuler. And of course, Miss Monet Green, I see you, girl. I actually met her this past weekend at a networking event, and one of my new little princess babies who keeps me draped in fabulous jewelry, her name is Lizzie Spees. She is watching with us on tonight. I want to go ahead and acknowledge y'all and invite you. Welcome, welcome. What is the church welcome, y'all? We welcome you once, we welcome you twice, we welcome you in the name of Jesus Christ. All right. All are welcome here at the Unhinged Radio Show, because the banner over us is love. I don't even know what you think you heard or think you know what you might know, but the banner over this crew is love, because we've experienced the love from the epitome of love. But enough of that. Natural D, what you been doing merrily down the stream these days?
Truth be told, nothing. Oh, if I'm not in the meeting, I'm asleep. But lately, just catching up on the sports. You know, I catch a clip here and there of things, and the good YouTuberations gave me a recommendation of this wonderful college meet, indoor meet of a 4x4. Can I tell y'all the first leg? This young lady, she fell. I mean, she fell, rolled off the track, fell. Like, but the baton stayed on the track. Don't you know, sis got up, kept running. Second leg, not only made up the time, child, by the time it got to the ankle leg, they blew them out the water. I said, how does this work? Whatever it is, the Lord loves you. Like us. It
and
was
there is
something
no
I had to
failure
say
in
to
him.
my child. Listen, so I'm excited to see between that and shout out to Fisk University gymnastics team. Listen, these young ladies are out here as the inaugural HBCU gymnastics team. They out here in these streets. ESPNW has been playing them to no end, and I'm here for it. And now I think Tuskegee has a team now. There's another team coming. Listen, I'm here for it. Bring it on. I'm here for it. So I'm just enjoying the black girl joy on whatever field, track, whatever they're doing. I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah, I like that. That black girl joy is definitely contagious, and we see it. Like y'all heard me say, joy is eternal, happy is temporary. Remember that. All right. So remember, we everywhere with this black girl magic, and this black girl is really joy. But anyway, check it out. Yo, Roy just shared some information in the comments. They filmed some episodes of Harlem in his neighborhood.
Love
and
it.
he has a nice picture that he took of the four main actresses strolling right in front of his building. You go, boy. You ain't go down there and try and get nobody's phone number. Oh, my bad. Let me get out your business.
Go ahead and drop that picture in the group. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go on, drop that picture. Go on, drop that picture, brother, if you don't mind, please and thank you. So y'all know I gotta go there because y'all know we are all fans of Auntie Monique, and we've loved her through all her rises and falls. And I actually got the time. Actually, I had set a reminder to enjoy her new movie, produced by Lee Daniels. Oh boy, she was having beef with from the Precious and the Tyler Perry and the Oprah carfuffle that she got into. Well, Monique is part of a new movie. She is the lead for a movie called The Reading. And the premise of the show is that she is a survivor of a tragic incident where her family was murdered in a break-in. She was the only survivor. She barely survived. So in the aftermath, she became a published author, and she is a wealthy, wealthy woman who said, hey, let me call in one of them psychic people and get me a reading, and maybe I could talk to my family from the other side. Well, honey, that was a reading that needs to be left on red because, baby, that movie took a turn. It was so unexpected, but it was so good. And it was very, very Monique. It was refreshing, and I was happy. I was giddy on the inside to see Monique showcasing her acting prowess. Sis was bad in this role. I can't tell you right now which streaming app it is on. Let your fingers do the walking, and you're going to find the landing place But Monique is back, y'all. Not only is she in the starring role in this movie, The Reading, we expect to see her Netflix comedy special coming up very, very soon because she, with her outspoken self, not afraid to ever speak truth to power, sister girl got what she knew she well deserved. So shout out to Monique. Shout out to Lee Daniels and that entire clique for making peace with one another. Because I think one thing that we learned um, coming out of the pandemic that it ain't even worth it to be carrying unnecessary beef because as we've witnessed it, people are leaving here left and right so unexpectedly. We ain't got no time to be playing them hatred childhood games, y'all. Again, love is the banner over here. Now, the size of the love I share may not be your size. Find somebody that loves you or with a love that suits your case. How about that?
That part.
Y'all right? And of course, y'all know I did get into streaming an audiobook because y'all know I enjoy studying the Bible, especially biblical history. So I had to listen to what I heard in my shanana, and I had to find an audible copy of the Book of Enoch. Yes, yes, yes. The Book of Enoch. I'm not afraid to go out into the deep, y'all. Uh, and what I noticed in a few of the apps that the Bible apps that I have on my phone that I use for study was that the Book of Enoch was nowhere to be found. And that was puzzling to me because I know back in the day, I had actually read a physical copy of it. So it's out there somewhere. So for those of you who enjoy biblical studies, religious studies, that type of thing, YouTube got a whole bunch of iterations of the Book of Enoch. If you're curious about some things that you may not necessarily hear preached over the pulpits in your local faith communities, listen, it is my opinion that the Book of Enoch, powerful stuff. So that's what I'm listening to as I go merrily down the street on the audiobook side of things this week. All right.
Tilted, we got a this just in moment. This just in.
What's happening? This just in. Breaking news,
this
y'all.
This just in. Our sister Natural D has stamped her passport, and she went on ahead and caught up with us in the Wakanda Forever land. And so she definitely landed over there in the Wakandans with the Wakandans. And you know, we want to shout her out because you may not come. She may not come when you want her, but she on time. That part there. So
on time, y'all. On time.
We're so happy and elated that she got her passport stamped, and now we don't have to revoke her black card the next time that we come. We just so happy because
it was never going to get revoked. Okay, because it was going to get watched.
We had faith in you, sister. We just knew that we was just holding the delegate back so that you and to your in your defense and support, my own twin sister, yes, the one that
your womb mate.
Oh.
Yes, the one that
All right, well, Karen is on pause right now for some reason or another. So we're gonna cover that. So she had made mention of your black card being revoked. Well, it's interesting. We are always existing on the same frequency, even though we are miles and miles away. I was actually trying to think of the question of the week because y'all know I like to throw y'all off. Can you recall any moment in particular in your life where you feel like your black card could have been revoked? Natural D.
So mine is, around dietary preferences.
Oh.
So,
holla at your girl. What you don't like to eat that could get your black card revoked, Natural?
So, I mean, pretty much the standard stuff. Okra. Black eyed peas, chitlins.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, anything with the pig that just outside of bacon and ham. But no, mine is usually food related. You know, you
It's
just might
usually
as well.
food related.
Oh, potato salad, you could just throw it out.
Don't even give you none of that. Don't do that to you.
No, deviled eggs, no, but
No.
because
Oh.
y'all be eating them, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Because I feel like, especially that, because it makes me feel like, how y'all eating that much mayonnaise? Like, that's just.
Wow. All
Um,
right. That's some more breaking news about Natural D, y'all. Clearly, sis don't like mayonnaise. She don't care for mayonnaise. Am I correct?
I mean, it's all right, but in large quantities with things that it has no business being on, no, thank
Well,
you.
guess what, sis? Guess what, sis? Just off of your initial answer to the question, your black card is not going to be revoked because you are not alone in that.
Okay.
I, too, sister, do not care for the okras or the okries, depending on how you say it, y'all, in the listening audience. I don't care for okra. I've tried. I think, I had some childhood trauma. Oh, Lord, the power went out. She back, y'all. She back, y'all. Lord, they done took her through. We don't know what's going on. Hopefully, nobody tried to blow up another transformer down there in North Carolina and
Lord,
take y'all out of
yes.
power. Welcome back,
It's the
Karen.
balloon. It's
It's that
the
balloon. It's
balloon.
the
It's the
residue from the
balloon.
balloon. Girl, stop. We're going to get into that later. But yeah, the question, as you had your little blackout moment, Karen,
Yes.
was can you recall one singular incident in your life where your black card could be or could have been revoked?
I
Insert the
can. And
Jeopardy music.
you tilted were there because it was a funny moment. So one thing, Sound of Music is my very favorite movie of all time. And I believe that there are a couple of people that want to revoke my black card for that. But during my youngest son's wedding, we danced to a song, I think it's Leanne Womack, I Hope You Dance. And a couple of people was like, what is going on
What's really
here?
going
We
on?
do not know, why is this song playing here?
What
what
is
is
this?
this that's going
It's a
on?
wonderful
But that is
song.
a family song and a sentiment that I share with my children. And although Gladys Knight has a version of it, my youngest son was like, no, we got to be true to the version that we grew up with and know. So my eclectic soundtrack, I enjoy some country, not all of it, especially not all of it, but I do enjoy country. And so Leanne Womack, and then after a couple of minutes, then we cut into some Bruno Mars, and everybody was like, "Woo, she back! Give her card back." So then we decided. Then we decided. That was probably one of my biggest, where we literally were looking around and it was just like, why do people look so uncomfortable? Like they look uncomfortable right now.
Listen, that was an epic moment because I promise y'all started out all slow and countrified and sweet. And then next thing you know, it was disco boogie breakdown. And sis, you worked that hair and you worked that dress during that mother son dance. You sure did. Yes, you did. And sis, you safe. We're not finna revoke your black card because, I do tend to enjoy some other cultural renditions of music. Shout out to Miley Cyrus, cause I put my hands up to play my song. Oh, that's my jam,
I
Okay,
ain't gonna
and
tell
I
you, we
can
got
name quite a
a
few
family
others.
dance routine to that song. That's all we're gonna say on that.
Girl, you got to teach me the moves when we get off the air. I need to learn. So when I come through with the family, I'm able to fall in
Know
step,
it.
the wiggle, wiggle, shake like I'm supposed to. Okay. So yeah, I have to share that, shout out to my pastor, Pastor Selena, who's the campus pastor, Greater Shiloh North Campus, located in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Baby, they almost threw me off the bus when we was going to Sight and Sound the other year, when I told them that I had never seen Claudine. And I had never seen Claude before that trip. Don't do that to me, Karen. Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
I'm trying.
Yes. So this was a couple years ago, and I wasn't alone in that. One of my other sisters, shout out to Sister Missy, she and I was sitting together like, we don't even know what you're talking about. All right. So we got an assignment from our pastor that night. I see. Wait. What, girl? Girl. You listen. I went home after seeing the beautiful Jesus at the Sight and Sound, and I made sure that when I showed up at church on Sunday morning, I went ahead and found Claudine online, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I did have a little bit of guilt because, you know, one of the scenes, a couple of the scenes involved the food stamp worker, and y'all, that's a part of what I do today. But I'm not pulling up to your house, you know, tossing the closet to make sure ain't no man there. We just gonna send you a letter of verification. We have other ways to find out if you're telling us the truth or not.
No toasters. That's all I'm gonna give. No toasters. That's the only. That's the only extra I'm gonna give Donnell. But sis, you got homework. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you know, we had one of our Facebook friends mention that their spouse had never seen The Last Dragon. And
girl,
I just recall that was the only way that we could see the beautifulness, like with no shirt on, because you know we would. Okay, well I was church girl, and we couldn't just go around seeing half naked men. But karate, you know, it was a reason for him not to have his shirt on, and you know we was just watching the karate moves. That's what we was watching when he had his soul glow. Okay. I don't even understand.
Yes, Bruce Leroy. But I can imagine that if they don't have any responsibilities at the church, I know Pastor B got old girl sitting right there in front of that television. Shout out to Roy Schuler. Look, shout out to Roy Schuler, who is about that life.
Right.
Okay. He was not able to drop the photo in the chat, so I just received a copy of the photo that he shared with us. And I think this is the scene that I was like, y'all is out here real fly. Yep, that's the outfit, because Megan is wearing that dress. She's wearing that dress. So I just posted it in the group. Thank you again. You are getting full photo credit for this share tonight, Roy. We really appreciate you sharing your experience only as an actor, print model, voiceover artist, and blogger, but we really enjoy when you go live and share the antics you endure as a substitute teacher, and the goings on in your day-to-day living in Harlem. All right, the historic Renaissance Harlem. Yes, you are definitely in the right place, Roy. So enough about that, because I see that the hour is moving along quite swiftly. We got to get to it. What time is it? Natural D, you and Key tonight, sis?
What's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on? On and on and on and on and on and on and on. What's really going on? Hey,
oh, yes. We are in it tonight. So, Karen, I got the mic to you because you already heard from me early. It was well before 7 a.m. when I was in here cracking all the way about this next topic of discussion. We got what? We got balloons and Grammys that we talking about tonight. So can we get into it about this China balloon?
It's on the agenda. Okay, first of all, Shout out to President Biden because you can't win them or lose them. That's all I got to say on that one. It's like half the folks is upset that you shot down the balloon. The other half said you shot it down you gave the order to shoot it down too late. Then China, honey, raise your hands, give us in the comments if you knew we had beef with China. I was sleeping. I did not know that we had China and US beef going on as deep as this here. See, there we go. We got one hand. So to keep up on that. I didn't know it was this deep. So I'm gonna tell you. And one of the challenges, of course, is that China is very upset that we shot down their balloon. A 200-foot tall balloon. Okay, and we sent it hurtling in the Atlantic Ocean after orders from President Biden to shoot the allegedly spy balloon. Okay, I don't think at the time they knew or not. They just knew that this might put Americans in some sort of imminent danger. And so apparently the balloon had been flying across the U.S. from Montana all the way to South Carolina. And we decided that we wanted balloons on the beach. And so we shot it down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And most people were taking pictures and videos and all sorts of things. But the U.S. Navy released the photos of the recovery just this week. So I want to say like Sunday I think it was Sunday when they were able to recover it. And then they're telling people, if you see it, don't be trying to get pieces of it because pieces of it fell. It was considered a civilian unmanned airship, according to China. According to us, it looks suspect and it needed to come down. We just wanted to make sure that it didn't come down on the people because we didn't know what was in it. We didn't know what it was there for. And honey, I'm going to tell you, you treat it like it's my house. If you come up in here and I don't know what you're here for, pew, pew, we shooting you down too. Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to be nice. We're going to be nice. But you can't 200 feet. Just think about how big that is, 200 feet. And nobody was really sure what it was. There wasn't a direct communication at the time from China to say, allegedly this is a unharmful, just regular balloon. We thought that it was spying. They were spying on particular things. Then the thought is that China is upset because we know their business in a way that they didn't want us to know their business. But how you gonna, I don't even understand. If you come up in my house with foolishness, this is what you need to do. So, I said Biden can't win them or lose them because part of the challenge was people were very upset. Some people thought he needed to take action right away. But because we were not really sure and the intelligence didn't know exactly what it was, they didn't just want it to shoot out the sky and then it harm people in residential areas or flying over houses. So, I'm sure them people in Montana is okay right now that thing didn't get shot down in their area because we did not yet know what it could possibly be. And so I know, he gets a bad rap. Some of it, can we say, rightfully so, he the president. So, the head get the blame. You gonna take the authority for all of that. But we got balloons on the beach. Yeah. That's all I got to say. Now, if y'all ever been to the beach, just treat it like fried chicken with them seagulls, because them seagulls would have got at it too. So that's all we got to say on that. But we're glad that we have averted all types of big challenges. But keep the U.S.-China beef in your prayers because they big mad over there, and we don't know what the next steps need to be as far as on the political and international global side of things. But I thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. JB, I don't agree with all your policies, but I promise you this one I felt like was one of the best things that we could do. Shoot it down over water so that you can minimize any potential harm that might come to folks. And they have been monitoring it for a couple of days. I get all of that, but we got to be ensuring safety of our American citizens and our American people over all else. So that's the balloons on the beach, y'all. Bring your own balloons.
Bring your own balloons. We don't want them kind though.
We don't want
so D, you got something to add to that? You got something to add to that, D?
I'm just saying, announce yourself. Like, you can't get mad and you didn't announce yourself. Like, clearly you're not Black China because you don't come into somebody's house and not announce yourself. Come on here.
Well,
And then you can't say this for the weather. For the weather. For the weather. Come on now. That's what radars are for. I don't understand.
The Doppler and that kind of thing is the Doppler.
Right. But what I found particularly interesting was the last line of that article where it said, our previous president said he was never informed of balloons passing over the U.S. while he was in office. And just so conveniently how they weren't discovered until after he left. How they work.
And that's shout out to CNBC, who is reporting on this recovery process, and it does say yes that there were 3 that flew over the U.S. during the Trump administration. So how does
that work?
Well, I feel like in those 3 statements, it speaks a lot about how they were only discovered after he left office, but that's a whole nother segment on all of the things.
That's another segment.
After.
Look.
Y'all know
I had a.
So does each one correlate with 100 documents that was found at? You know what?
They was in the balloon.
Listen here, yo. Listen, you. Listen, you.
I mean, allegedly. Listen. I'm just saying allegedly.
All of this is alleged. This is
alleged.
I'm just
girl,
saying.
Listen, y'all already know I had already put it out there that I was bugging. I was bugging off of this early this morning because I had the challenge of trying to know what we talking about on each show. So I started digging a little bit further than the little blips and blurbs I had seen and heard on television. And I found this one particular article that gave us the travel path of the balloon. And all I could see was me as a youth growing up in the beautiful San Joaquin Valley in Stockton, California. And I just remembered how I felt when I went outside and looked up and saw that the Goodyear balloon, the Goodyear blimp was in the sky. Now, we as children loved every single time that we got to see the Goodyear blimp. So imagine what it might have been like for someone to come outside, look up at the balloon and see made in China on it. How about that? I know they like to say that, China said that it was not a spy vessel, allegedly. I know they said that they sent it over here, for travel, and weather purposes. They're just trying to monitor climate change. But it may have been unmanned, but that does not mean that there wasn't some advanced video camera on that there balloon. And the last time I had checked, China owns a lot of a huge chunk of American land here in the good old US of A. And I believe, because I'm not really well versed in foreign politics, y'all, so I don't want to sit here and act like I'm an expert because I sure am not, okay? But this is what creates the tension because China is super disciplined in how it runs its government, or at least it tries to be. And because they practice that discipline, I don't think they necessarily realize the how liberal nations tend to do things. And like y'all said, they should have sent an email to the security chief, the joint chiefs of staff, to Joe Biden. They could have sent an email to Kamala. They could have sent an email to say, hey, we finna send this balloon over here. We come in peace. I thought that maybe it was a very, very, very advanced property search because it's a lot of land in the Midwest that could be used for farming and growing and redevelopment of all kinds. So who knows what that balloon was there for? This article actually said, when Joe first heard about it, he was like, shoot him down there. shoot him down. He was ready on day one. But of course, as you did say, Karen, they had to consider the well-being of every single American citizen and the risk at play by shooting it down on inland airspace. It was higher than what civilians are allowed, just higher than what civilian airspace is appropriated by the FAA, which brought them into the position of high alert. So this was crazy. We thought we've seen some things, but I can promise you, I just feel it in the pit of my shanana that we ain't seen nothing yet. 2023 is just getting off to a start. We're already pushing into the second week in the month of February. I promise you, we was just celebrating New Year's Eve, and look, it's already February. So let us, even here on the platform, move expeditiously into the topic, because baby, I think we all got something to add to this conversation. Listen, y'all, listen. I had stopped watching award shows because they boring. Right? And I was actually at work and came home from work and said, let me see what's on these here Grammys. And I'm so glad that I turned on the telly and got to enjoy the part of the Grammys that I got to enjoy. I didn't get to see the opener, but I did get to see the best parts. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Who saw it from the beginning? Who was watching from the beginning? Was either one of y'all watching it from the beginning?
Nah.
Oh, she got her hands up. They playing her song. Talk to us about the begging part of the
Bad Bunny was the opening act. Beyonce was late. Well, her and Jay-Z was late coming in. Trevor Noah was a great opener. I don't know Bad, but okay, let me just say this. I know about 5 of them people who was on that show, okay? And it has inspired me that all of us need to just go ahead on and write a song, okay? That's number one. But Bad Bunny was good. It was cultural. He is from Puerto Rico. So, all of Bonico is could we call him that? I don't know what's the political correct. But they was out there shaking their skirts. It was in good taste, a lot of fun and a lot of energy. I don't know none of them folks though. And apparently he is a Grammy Award winning. I think he won something that night as well. So that was that whole thing. A lot of tributes, a lot of first. They did something different when it came to like introducing the musical performances. It was like the people's families and friends, and they literally had super fans. So I'm not gonna say they got that from us, but there were super fans that was giving shout outs for why each of the nominated songs should be picked as the number one song, and they all shared their personal testimony story with why those songs were meaningful to them. So really, really heartfelt, and I think a lot of human touches that were in there. So that's what we'll say on that. I did had gone to the kitchen, and then by the time I had come back, Viola was out there giving her speech, and I was like, wait. So I'm gonna stop there. See who else saw that part. Who saw that moment in history and time?
I didn't see it live, but I did see it on the website because that was how I was kind of sort of watching it. But they were really slow. But yes, when she said, "I just EGOT," I was like, "Come on here, come on, somebody!"
And for telling her story,
EGOT, y'all.
For telling her story. That is that's a interesting, just amazing thing, because I don't think that you know how we have goals and you got a goal and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that. I really do not believe that when she did her book that it was a thought of, can I get this with that? She just, in my opinion, allegedly was telling her story, and a powerful story that it is, and I know worthy of the Grammy. I could say that. So super happy for her. This has just been a year of years for Viola, with all of her success and hard work with her book, Woman King, all of the things. She gave it to the queen.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. sis been showing up and showing out for years. And I'm grateful that in our lifetime we got to see her receive her roses. Y'all do recognize that it was a character that she played in the Tyler Perry show, a movie. I'm sorry, that my the shift in the conversation I was having with God about my purpose in this life. She played the role of a minister that would take it to the streets. And not only did she take it to the streets, she kept it all the way real, being a relatable presence of what Christ is. She did not speak churchanese or Christianese or bibliations. She spoke to those women on their level, where she was able to tap into their heart space, have an impact, and holding their hands as they made changes in their lives. That role was like, yo, I want to do that, like Viola. I want to go out like that, and just being a touchable, like Jesus was when the face of the earth. I want to be touchable. And shout out again to Viola, who EGOT. She has an Emmy, she has a Grammy, she has an Oscar and a Tony. And she is absolutely amazing. And every single role, every single she commits to memory, she absolutely bodies, baby. So some things are received better late than never. I don't want to associate that with her right now. This is her. I think she got it when she was supposed to, for the reason she was supposed to. She opened up her soul and shared some of her deepest pains, and her healing process in that audio recording of her book. So we love Viola, and we look forward to more coming from you. And look, while I'm talking about Viola, because y'all know I'm always thinking about something, let's not forget who got next. Ends up after her to get it. Loretta Devine? Is it Loretta Devine? Is it Angela Bassett? Is it Octavia Spencer?
Is
it Whoopi Goldberg?
So Whoopi was first.
I could go on and on.
Whoopi was first.
Yeah.
So far we got Whoopi, Jennifer Hudson, and Viola. Those are the only three African women.
Yeah, because so Jennifer got her EGOT within the last week.
Yes. We looking for it. We looking for it.
Yeah, so shout out to Jennifer Hudson. She didn't win American Idol, but she stayed winning to this very day, every single day since she left the American Idol stage. Another one. We can listen to her sing The Paint Off the Walls any day. And not only can she sing The Paint Off the Walls, she too is also hosting her own talk show. I'm not necessarily sure, and I'm putting the system on blast right now. I'm not even sure where it's being shown in my local broadcasting area. Y'all know what network is playing the Jennifer Hudson show? Do either of you know?
I do not know.
Because
I thought I knew, but I watch it.
My soul is
YouTube has me in a chokehold, so
that's right.
Yeah, YouTube be getting me too. I'm like, turn on YouTube over here.
All I know is it's on the Roku channel. I don't know which channel it is. I promise.
See, I'm glad we got the opportunity to big it up, because we talked about how Nick Cannon's show got canceled after only 5 minutes on air. They're celebrating the work that she's doing. There was actually a feature story on CBS News that highlighted the work that she was doing and how her road to getting to the Jennifer Hudson show. So please, ma'am, please, sir, if you find it in your heart and in your viewing time, go on and give her some ratings so the queen can continue season after season after season. Now I'm gonna switch it back to the Grammys, because I lost my mind as I was laying there, and they celebrated 50 years of hip hop. 50 years of hip hop, and then all of a sudden, we saw a plethora of all of the artists we grew up listening to. Y'all know, I have to put it out there. I'm a little bit older, just a smidget older than hip hop. So I am hip hop. I am part of the generation that has watched it transition over the years. And I promise you, I was already at the brim of affiliation. And then Busta Rhymes came out, y'all. Y'all, did
And
y'all
he shut it
see the
down. He said,
precision?
y'all thought I came here to play, and then just ripped it off, that part. And he said, I ain't come here to play.
I was like, oh, y'all needed to check on me in that moment because I promise you I stopped breathing.
I had a moment when Method Man came out. We AKA Meth. We just call him Meth. We don't even say the whole name. When Meth came out, it was like, okay, wait, what? 50 look like what? 50 look like what? Who say what now?
Come on.
Just a good representation. Everybody couldn't be up there, and my
No.
question was, we had some heavy hitters out there. Run DMC, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, Rakim, who in Public
Yes.
Enemy, like they was Busta Rhymes,
The
they
lie.
was really doing it. Nelly, and then there were some names that we were crossing our fingers for that didn't make it to this list, but I'm sure they'll be a part of some celebration somewhere near us real soon. So I gotta throw it out there. I'm putting my Tilted Halo hat on and say,
Do you
ask that
sis?
off the wall question. Who do you think was missing from your
See, she gonna hit us with the tilted swagger, and I think her power popping off again. We gonna stretch your right hand that represents power. Free, there we go. See, the prayer changes things. Welcome back, Karen.
immediately? Okay. So y'all go ahead and tell me who y'all would have added to Questlove's list. Shout out to Questlove for getting that
He did that.
combination of voices together. He did it. He did it.
Yo, it's a little hard for me because I like to be in the dirty a lot. I'm a fan of that dirty South hip hop. And for me, I would have loved to sing Luda. He's at the top of his game. Y'all, I'm a Ludacris fan, okay? My favorite album by the Ludacris one is The Red Light District. Yes, I would have loved to seen Luda on that stage. Again, shout out to Questlove because you put us all the way in the mix live and you didn't skip one beat. Ludacris, I would have loved to have seen him in the mix. And of course, Juvie. I love it now, y'all. I like Juvie.
That makes sense to me. Just so we clear, that Juvenile makes sense to me. Maybe not to everybody else, but to me, that makes sense. You know who
I like Juvie.
I wish would have came from behind the desk, I'm gonna say, and it's the reason for the question, because MC Light was in the house. She was working.
Yes.
But it was like it would have been not Light to come on round from the desk. I know they got you, but give Trevor the mic just for 3 minutes. Get on out there and then go ahead and get that. So
LL did it.
LL did, yeah.
LL did it.
And he had his whole boombox. He was ready. Like,
yeah, he had rock the bells. Listen, I didn't know some of them folks could move like that.
It was so good. We know, and not to make it a somber moment, we know that there's so many people in the hip hop and rap game that have since gone on. Some of them lost to the streets, some of them, not too many of them that I know. It's literally like can we leave here from natural causes? Because a lot of folks, street violence all over the place. But the music, okay, like the whole thing, they really put a lot into that. We're seeing we're seeing some comments. Yes, and that's not the hip hop selection, but we're gonna get into just a few more minutes of talking about other things that wasn't hip hop, because y'all know I gotta bring it to y'all. Everybody, we don't talk about Bruno won a Grammy for the writing. The Encanto song won a Grammy. Maverick City took home a couple of Grammys. Kirk Franklin was amongst that group. I think the song that they did, Fear's Not My Future, won an award. So many different things, and it was like all the way across the board. Nice to see as many people as nominated. Best rap song was Kendrick Lamar with The Heartbeat Part 5. And it was some crazy competition in some of these areas that it was like, wait, what? Who we doing? That song, Best R&B, went to Hours and Hours by Mooney Long. And then the upset for New Artist of the Year was Samara Joy, and her jazz album and rendition. And, you know, her face really was, if I'm just glad to have been invited, was a person, that was Samara Joy. She was like, I just thank y'all for inviting me. Yes, Tilty.
Man, can we just celebrate? First of all, before we get into the celebration, shout out to Bishop A&R, because you did what you were supposed to do. You made sure that everybody possible, whether in the secular world or in the world of Christendom, went to whatever streaming app they support and they downloaded the Renaissance album. And because of your support and a free A&R, Bishop, our sister, Queen B, broke a record and is now the winningest Grammy artist of all time. So can we take a moment to celebrate this tremendous accomplishment by Beyonce Knowles Carter, Miss Carter herself? There's nothing else that really needs to be said. And me personally, I'm a beehive. I mean, I'm not in the hive. The watchers from the door of the hive, if that makes any sense. I'm just over there giving you the history of how the hive was built and came to be. I've been riding with Beyonce, Kelly, Latoya, Latavia, all of them since day one, since the group changed, became 5, then it became DC4, and then it became DC3. But there was always something about Beyonce that was a foretelling of where she stands today. So I'm going to sit here and, again, thank you, Bishop A&R. We appreciate you. And because of you, I took the time to truly dissect the lyrics of Church Girls. And one of the lyrics, I was like, see, you wasn't even listening to this part. They said, finally find the usher's smile. Swimming through the oceans of tears, we cry. Somebody drugged their hind parts to church through tears and met the loving smile of one of the doorkeepers, the temple servants, the ushers. You know, the ones that with the white gloves that usher you to your seat. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as derogatory as you made it out to be. But again, because of your work, Bishop, and your faithfulness to that task, sister is now a record-breaking Grammy artist. So, yeah, thank you, Bishop. You got anything to add to the Grammy conversation, Natural D?
As it says on the screen, Tennessee State University Marching Band out here winning Grammys. Come on. Shout out to them because, you know, not too long ago, their wonderful president, Dr. Glover, was sitting before the Senate trying to understand why they want to start cutting funding to HBCUs. You know, even though some of these states, my own, wants to cut funding, you know, or act like they forgot to add the dollars into the funds of our HBCUs. So, you know, shout out to Tennessee State University Marching Band. But also feels up to me, Common would have been on that stage. Thank you, Ed. And Black Star.
Yeah, all right, Common and Black Star. Oh, yeah, and shout out to Chuck D and Flavor Flav that was out there acting up too. Yeah. To the point where they shut down Flavor Flav Mike because he was doing what a hype man is supposed to do, but y'all ain't familiar with all that. But again,
okay, we got the black man doing too much. Shut the mic off. Let him just jump up and down.
Let him be Flav, but we don't want to hear from him. But anyway, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation, ladies. But unfortunately, we got to wrap it up. We're coming to the end of another lovely time together. And you already know what it is. Before we wrap it up and get on up out of here, we have got to take a pause from our overall for our overall wellness cause and receive the nuggets, the meaty, meaty nuggets from this woman over here. Her name Karen Ann Sims of Twisted, and Sister Girl did a 31-day motivational series on her Facebook and Instagram. Go ahead and find her, y'all. Catch the replays and hit them reels and run her numbers up. You getting ready to get it live from her. Karen Ann Sims of Twisted Threads, Reflections of Purpose. Go ahead and take it away.
Listen, we're super excited to come to you. As Tilted is mentioning, we did 31 days of positivity. And so one of the things we now are in the midst of is we done ran that on over to 28 days of excellence during February. And so today we want to remind you to make room for goodness in your life. Make room for it. A lot of us, we don't always have the opportunity to know what's going on one way or another when trouble comes. But we know that it is easier to manage when trouble comes if we've made room for goodness. I know that sounds crazy and out of order, but literally, if you make room to say, I'm gonna make time for my joy, for my happy, I'm gonna make time for my peace, I'm gonna make time for self-care, that actually helps to prepare you for when the hard times come. Why? Because, honey, if you're on cloud nine, even when something comes to knock you down, you never will hit the ground. So we want to remind you that as we are setting goals and getting our life right and making sure we ain't got none of that recall food in our refrigerator, we are getting ourselves right and prepared for what? For the goodness that's right ahead of us. And I promise you that as you set goals to create more goodness in your life, you know what you attract? You attract goodness, and then it multiplies and multiplies into more goodness. See, the challenge is that many of us know how to struggle and handle strife, but we haven't always been disciplined in bringing goodness and the things that come along with that into our life. So if that means you got to kind of scrape your hands off, dust your shoulder off and say, I'm done with that last thing, and now I'm preparing for the next blessing that's coming my way. You know, in the voice of the pastor, what they say, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. When we are getting ready, that takes a process. It means that if you're getting ready, you may not be ready to receive. So get ready right now, because we know we're setting ourselves up for goodness. Goodness is our portion, and we moving forward with it. That's your word for today, for your reflections of purpose. What? Make room for goodness in your life. We're excited that we were able to share a word with you today. Tilted?
Yes, sis. Make room for the goodness in your life. And y'all already know what it is. I like to end the Eat Show with the Just Be word of encouragement. And, I thought about, how this segment, it's not necessarily, is it a segment now? What is this? Anyway, this was something, it is a segment. Okay, because, I just be doing stuff. But, I had some moments of reflection on where this actually was really, really birthed. It wasn't just something that y'all just hear me throwing out here on the show. I remember having a conversation with a former employer as we were riding to lay one of our coworkers to rest. And I said to him in conversation, all I ever ask God for is just to allow me to be. And he looked at me and told me I was entirely too young to have that mindset. And I just chalked it up to me being an old soul. So who knew that here it is, upwards of 10, 15 years later, it would now be a segment where I take a quick opportunity to just encourage you to just be. So tonight, I'm going to simply encourage you to just be willing to embrace change. Oftentimes in our lives, we get caught up in the auto-ness of things. If y'all stuff up, if we get set in being on auto because we're used to doing things a certain way, and we like knowing that we're thriving simply because we're in an area of comfortability. Good God, what do you even get your lips together? tonight, Tilted. But tonight, you know, I'm sitting here amongst my sisters, and I want to go ahead and give you a public thank you, Jonelle, because the Lord used you to say something to me on Sunday that gave me tonight's just be willing to embrace change. I almost want to sit here and read what you said to me, but that's between me, you, and Jesus, because I know it came to me through you because of his love for not just me, but you too. So yeah, your sister had some situations where I had to embrace some change that came upon me suddenly, and I almost talked myself out of it. But my sister again reminded me, and she began to bind some things. And all I know is I woke up the next morning in a new level of holy boldness. And now I'm just sitting on the cusp of a change that will definitely change the trajectory of my career. So, y'all, be willing to embrace change. It requires stretching for you to continue to grow. So don't be afraid to be stretched. Our children, especially our young men, when they go through these different growth spurts, they stretch, and sometimes they in pain in their joint spaces. And I'm sure you can attest to that because those spurts come so fast. Don't be afraid of it, because the last time I checked, Karen Sims got a brood of young men that is easy on the eye, and they stand and they pretty, you know, they tall. And that's what they tall. And I just envision the growth spurts. So your growth spurts are not here to make you, you know, terrible and make you sick. They're only here to make you better. So thank you again to everyone who just been with us all night. I see y'all stayed with us tonight. We really appreciate you, and anticipate y'all coming on back. Next Tuesday is the Valentine's Day. So I'm not sure, because you know it's some love relationships going on, and y'all know I believe in love. I'm not gonna take nobody away from their date night things and such coming up off Super Bowl weekend. So we might pop up when y'all least expect us. So if you haven't already, join the Facebook group Unhinged Live with Tilted Halo. Then follow take yourself on over to the YouTuberations and like and subscribe to the Twisted Threads channel and the Unhinged Live channel and the Save the Arts channel, so you can be notified of when we're going live. Because again, y'all know Tilted keeps it twisty, turny, but it's all goodness. I love you all. Thank you again, Karen. Thank you again, Natural D. This has been and is Unhinged Live, and we are out. Peace.